I don't know if you've seen it in interviews. One of my best mates died this year.
Oh, really?
And he was a massive Carlisle fan. So like, that's an extra bit for me to kick on and do well. You know, a bit of pride in it. Like, it means more than just me going back to Carlisle and me doing well for myself. You know, being able to sign there this year, the year he passed away, that's why it felt so right as well. You know, it's just crazy how that opportunity came. You know, with him being such a big Carlisle fan. So I want to go and do him proud as well.
That Mental Health Chat, a podcast brought to you by the mental health charity Back On Side.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of That Mental Health Chat. Tonight, we have got a special guest in Owen Moxon. Owen, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm all right.
Good. And also joining us is our superstar founder, Libby Emerson. Sure. Oh, yeah, I'm bigging you up, Libby.
I know, sorry. Good evening.
So, delighted to have you, Owen. I believe you start pre-season in a couple of days.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I'm starting on Wednesday, the 22nd, so I'm looking forward to starting.
Big changes this year for you?
Aye, just a little bit. Obviously left my job and starting back full time, so I'm delighted to get back doing that after, I think it's 5 years I've not been there now. So working just wasn't really for me, so I'm glad I'm back playing football and stuff, so I'm just looking forward to it now.
Excellent. We paid a wee visit to your new club, actually. I don't think there was anybody about to welcome us, right enough.
I know, I've seen that, you doing cartwheels, and
I don't know how I managed that, actually.
Especially after all that running, but I know I've seen it. It's a nice wee club, big stadium and that, and
We're probably banned before now.
I know, I think they said you're not allowed back in, maybe.
The car park's as close as we're ever going to get again, Livy.
Nah, you'll be back. Sure you will.
No, definitely. First game.
Don't know where it is yet. I think the fixtures come out next week, so hopefully it's home.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You'll not be trekking all the way down there.
To Carlisle?
No, past.
Oh, past. Well, Bradford. Go to the Bradford one.
Right, okay. So it is.
You started off at Carlisle?
I was at Carlisle from under nines.
Right.
I was there till I was 16. Got released at 16 and went to Queen of the South. And then left there and went to Annan. So yeah, I was there from the age of 9. So it's quite weird going back. You know, I was like I've matured a lot, got a lot of experience and that. Obviously, a lot bigger boy and stuff. So yeah, it's just weird how it works. You know, you always wanted to be a Carlisle player, then you think, oh, the world's come crashing down, and then you go away, and then it turns out better for you than some of your mates that actually got through. So yeah, it's very weird, but I'm looking forward to it anyways.
Do you think that's been a benefit going away and getting experience elsewhere and playing part-time and kind of working back towards that?
Yeah, definitely. I've said this to all my mates, like at the time they all got youth team contracts, and there's some very, very good players that were in there. The boy Matty Douglas, my best mate, he probably should have got kept on, but change of manager and stuff, it's all opinions and stuff like that at the end of the day. And you know, when he came out, he was sort of set back from where I was, because I went away and progressed quite quick into a first team. He was on the bench and stuff, but he never really got a look in. And he even says it worked out so much better for you, you know, going away, actually getting first team experience. Although I didn't play like loads of games at Queen's, it set us up for the next bit in Annan, and then I was playing every week. Yeah, it definitely has benefited us, you know, and you meet a lot of people, you know, like I would have never met Libby or yourself probably if I never went over to the Scottish side and done all that. So I'm sort of like grateful for, in a way, that I did get released, and then now it's brought us back there.
Definitely. I think that's a good advert, because you hear I've seen a lot of kind of younger boys, especially in football, that kind of get maybe disheartened and even give up the kind of the opportunity to try and get back to full time or even get into full time football, just because their head goes down, they chuck it a wee bit. But it just shows you know, there's a story behind sticking in, a bit of hard work, and then achieving something maybe the longer way around. But
yeah, there's a lot, like I say, a few of my mates obviously being from Carlisle, they got through, and some of them don't even play football anymore. You know, they came out of Carlisle, and like some of the boys, not so much my friends, but some of the boys that I know of that were there maybe thought they were going to go elsewhere and should walk into a team. You know, like you have a different mentality when you're younger. With me getting that little setback, I didn't maybe have it as much. Whereas if I was in Carlisle, I maybe thought, I've made it. You know, like there's a lot of people that do think that, and you go somewhere else and you find it hard. Maybe you go down the part-time route and you maybe not playing or something like that. And sometimes it's just you think you may be better than you are at the time, and you know there's some people that just give up. But no, I've always wanted to play football, so I would always play. So I just wanted to enjoy it as much as I could, and I've improved every year from it. So that was quite a good thing. But like I said, there's boys that maybe never got the game times and they've chucked it. So it's just one of them really. It just depends. It's down to yourself and how much you enjoy it. And for some people, it's maybe not worth it anymore. But like I said, I would always play. Yeah. So it's worked out good for us in the end.
Brilliant. So you kind of touched briefly on there about meeting Libby and back on side. Do you want to go into that in a wee bit? 'Cause it's always interesting when we speak, because most people, or everybody I think we've done so far, has got a connection in some way to back on side. So it's always interesting just to find out how that sort of came about.
I don't even know. You came in for a chat, didn't you?
Yeah.
But I feel like I was maybe working away for college.
Yeah, that'd be 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
A bit longer than that, maybe. It will be 3. But I feel like you came in for a chat, and obviously you were working with Annan, and then my grandma passed away, and to be fair, that affected me quite a lot. And it was Big Pete Watson at the time, he was like one of my best mates, but you'd think he was like 15-year-old kid. So like you always forgot that he was like 30, over 30, kids, family, you know, like he was just a joker. But I think he picked up on it and he tried to get me to contact Libby, but I'm not that type of person. I don't want to bother anybody or talk about anything. And then I think you phoned me, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
maybe the gaffer had. Pete maybe said to the gaffer.
Maybe said to the gaffer, and then Libby phoned me, and I was a bit funny about it at first, like just, you know, but then she just gets you talking, and then she just built a relationship from there, and obviously now she's a very good friend of mine and stuff, and you know, the work that she does with the charity is brilliant, so we've always kept in touch, and she's always very close with all the boys at Annan as well, just looking out for everybody. So
although it is knowing that Owen is my boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of standard joke down there.
Well, it's funny because like when we were away for the run, and there was obviously the news that you were going to be signing for Carlisle, because there must have been phone calls if ever I'm coming back in, like for some of the runs, and I was like, oh, it's Owen's on the phone. All right, Libby. But that's good. But it's such a nice connection, and like we've spoken about this before. I don't know if it was in a podcast, but we spoke about the sort of impact that Libby coming in at Annan had in the team, and obviously in individuals like yourself.
I think that's with Jack, wasn't it?
It was. Aye, you're right. I was trying to think when we spoke to Jack, and the kind of impact that it had, not just like in terms of the team and the individuals, but how that at that time Aaron were performing really well, and we were saying like, do you think that had a bit to do with like the sort of, I suppose the support, and then off the back of that, the kind of team morale building up a wee bit because everybody's looking out for one another.
Well, you didn't come to a few games last year, didn't you? You sacked us off for Peterhead. I think we were losing, and then you came back and we won. So right? It's maybe just you need to go to every game. But no, definitely, like all the boys say, like there's probably boys that, you know, maybe do struggle with stuff, you know, like some boys transitioning from full-time to part-time, it's always hard. You can maybe guess that would maybe just need to talk to somebody at times, and it's just probably because at the time when I was going through that, obviously I had my nana, nobody knows what goes on at home and stuff. So I know a lot of the boys will speak to Libby and they're quite open about, I was speaking to Libby, it helped, you know, she just put my mind at ease about something. So they all just feel very comfortable, and it just helps helps everybody a lot, knowing that there's somebody there that I can trust. And I've been very honest, like, she got me through a tough time, losing my nana and stuff with all the boys. They all know that, so they're maybe thinking if there is something, they can go and speak to her as well. So it's just...
I think it's about not labelling it as mental health issues. It's more about...
It can just be anything. Like, I'd speak to you about
anything.
any issues I have, like, now because we're good friends, but at first I wouldn't have done that.
No.
So, like, when people know that other people have been helped by it, as little or as big as it might be, then they definitely feel more comfortable. And when you're there all the time and stuff, it's just...
And the boys are quite open to each other now. Like, I've definitely noticed that.
Especially last year, that change room we had was very, very close. That's why we done so well, and I think we could have done even better. But
if Libby hadn't missed those,
if Libby hadn't missed them three or 4 games, but no, it definitely does help.
Like. Yeah. Well, I think, like you said, it's the I suppose it's that sort of team spirit of everybody knowing they've got each other's back, and when everybody's a bit open, there's I'm not saying there's no secrets. People, as you say, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but the fact that everybody's fairly open to the fact, you don't need to say about what your issues are or what's going on, but you're quite happy to speak about times when you're not feeling too great, and then everybody sort of gathers round about you, as you say, going through the time when you lost your nan, and I bet you the team were pretty supportive.
Yeah, they were. Like, that's what I mean. That was a few years ago now, but obviously I kept it to myself. Whereas if I'd have just maybe set a few people sort of heard, because obviously Matty was there, he probably said, like, boys were like, "What's the matter with him? He's not himself." Probably said, and I know maybe just a bit scared to say. Whereas if I was a bit more open about it, it maybe would have got me through it a bit easier. But football was always like an escape for me with that anyways, so I try to get in and just have a laugh. But the difference last year was everybody was just like that. You maybe had a couple of people you would speak to closer in the team, and if you can come to training and have a laugh, and you know somebody gives you a different perspective on like some advice or what you've got, maybe Libby saying, and then I maybe come with a different angle of it, it can definitely help them. And I know it's helped a lot of boys, so that the team spirit and that is massive in football. But if there's always someone there to help you if you are struggling, then that makes a massive difference as well.
Definitely. So you made the team of the season, didn't you? Aye. How did you feel last season went? Obviously good, but
it was good, and I knew I had a good personal season as well. I can remember saying to Livy like the year before, I had a couple of offers and stuff like that, and some sort of fell through, and I was due a bit of luck, because I knew I'd played well for the last few seasons, but this year was different. I knew we were sort of playing a different formation, which suited me a lot more, didn't it? And yeah, I just felt confident every game, and I just knew I was going to go and play well. The team were playing well, and I knew we had like a good bunch of boys, and the morale in the squad was good. So it was obviously nice to get in the team this season and stuff like that. It just tops it off. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was all right.
Well, clearly.
Aye.
But the thing is, like as you said, the confidence builds, and when you're playing well, then you continue to get better and improve. And I think the mental side to that is just as important, isn't it? Because like you think if you've got the confidence that you're playing well, and you're I suppose coming off a good results, good performances, then that builds that momentum.
Yeah,
and
it's massive.
Aye.
Like,
I think that builds off the back. Like, I know I keep getting back to that, but I'm really impressed with how. Like, I know I've not seen loads of that, but just about the impact, like having somebody like Libby at the club.
Yeah,
and it's not just the physical aspect of how well everybody's playing, but it's that whole mentality.
It's like a feel good factor, and you've got like every aspect of it. Like, I just think last year we were so close as a group of players, and the club itself were like really close, including Libby, like being there. It just kicks you on. You don't think you're gonna get beat. Like, and even if you do go 1-0 down, you're always gonna get back into it, which we were doing. I know at the end of last year, I knew I finished the season well, didn't I? And then I had a few opportunities come, but they never, it didn't turn out to be right. And it's looking back now, I'm glad that never happened, because I'm in a better place now. So I knew this year I was going into it confident because I knew them opportunities would come back, and if not better. So I was just taking it week by week and just enjoying it was the main thing. You know, like I say, I keep mentioning it, the lads got on so well. It's probably the best dressing room I've ever been in, and that does make a massive difference compared to the year before, whereas the dressing room maybe wasn't as close. You know, like
COVID as well didn't help.
Yeah, if we had a bad performance, we'd maybe still grind a win out, and you know, we were just like, what a team we are. Like, nobody can come and actually like batter us. Like, we will only lose a game if we are bad. And then even if we are, we'll go again next week and we'll be back to normal. So that's just had the mentality we all had, and it was really good. I was disappointed, obviously, not to get promoted, but I feel like we should have. But we just let ourselves down in that first leg. And, you know, we haven't had many performances like that this year. Just so happens it was on the most important one. So I was a bit disappointing, but I loved every minute of last season. It was brilliant.
Certainly, you were flying, and it always seemed as though the team were just doing well, and everybody was buzzing off of that. See, going back to like when you left Carlisle and went to Queen of the South, right? Because this is something that can interest me. Obviously, that you've had this sort of mentality of never give up. How did you sort of manage that when because you were young, obviously at 16, and then you're getting released for the club that you're hoping to eventually make it into the first team. So how did you manage that, like getting released and then trying to kick on again?
See, to be honest, it was very hard at the start, because of where I'm sort of based. Like, it's not like a Glasgow where there's other SPFL clubs, you know, 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. There's not really many full-time clubs around where I am, so Dumfries was the closest. And then I obviously went there, and I wasn't playing at first, and I can remember speaking to my dad, and I was just thinking, I'm not playing the way I normally play. I think it was maybe just transition, because I was with people from 9 till 16, so I felt comfortable going into a new dressing room and stuff. Like, I did nearly chuck it. I was saying I'm not playing properly in training, and I just sort of thought, like, I can't even remember. My dad just said, like, shut up, basically. He's like, you've wanted to be a footballer since you could walk. So all you're doing is playing football. Like, you've got this opportunity now. You've only been there a couple of months. You'll be fine once you just obviously haven't settled in right. And I can remember a few months later, I played a couple of games with like the 17s, because I was only 16 at the time, so I could still play with them. And I went and played, and like, to be fair, I did rip it up a bit. Like, I was decent, and then I went and played a game for the under-20. I think someone got injured, to be fair, and then I went and played, and I was very good. And the first team manager was there, and he sort of said, like, why have you not been playing all year? And I was like, I don't really know. And then that just gives you a bit of confidence. It's just all confidence. And then from then on, played every game, and then I was up with the first team by the end of the season. And, you know, like, that's when you start thinking, can't believe I was going to give it up. Like, I probably never would have, but why was that thought even going through my head? Like, it's just, you need to go and enjoy it. It's like what you've always wanted to do. And then done well from there, and then obviously went back, dropped down a bit, but then I enjoyed it again, and then now I'm where I am now. So it is just all about confidence and just wanting to play. And yeah, it was just hard at the time though, leaving. You know, like, all your mates were going through, and it was like you were sort of the odd one out. It felt a bit embarrassing, just because I knew I was highly thought of there, went from all the way to 9 to 16. Then I had an injury in the last year, and that sort of set us back with the change of managers and stuff. So it did feel like your world was crashing down at first, but then as soon as you go back in somewhere else and doing well, you don't even think about it anymore. Like I say now, I look back now, and I'm a bit older. I'm glad it happened.
I suppose it is. It's easy to look back and see that now, but at the time it's something difficult to sort of manage. But it's funny because it is a lot of the time down to the sort of the mental side of things. Yeah. Physically, you're probably doing everything you can, and as you said, like, football is pretty much a game of opinion. Somebody might see and think, aye, he's decent, we'll take him. Somebody else might not see that in you. But it's a bit So what you're doing might not change, but how you
think about it does. And like you said, at that age, you don't want to speak to anybody like and tell them. You want to maybe try and be a bit cocky and I'm not bothered. Whereas, yeah, like there was times where, like I can remember, like I came out, I was crying and that. Like I'm only a young boy. I was still at school, 15 or something at the time, but there was never anybody there like a Libby or. And even still at that age, I don't think you would talk to somebody like Libby or in the sort of way I would now. It is just very hard at that age. But when, like I say, when you look back, you shouldn't think about what you were thinking about at that age. That you've still got so many years. Like you don't have to. That's not the be all and end all. You can go away somewhere else and just go and enjoy your football, and then you don't know where it can take you. But at the time, it was very hard. Like
but again, importantly, enjoying it, getting back, enjoying it, and then you probably will play better football because you're not putting too much pressure on yourself to try and make the first. You're just enjoying it, and you're probably playing better football because you're a bit more relaxed about it. Like obviously, my things about running and stuff, and like the whole thing I always find about that is physically you're probably miles away from ever being fully done. Yeah. But you feel that way just because in your head you tell yourself like you.
Well, I was just saying to you before, I don't know how you've done all that before. Like I struggle with a 10k just mentally, like if I'm on my own. But you've obviously done, how many miles was it?
400-ish.
Just 400 now.
10 days though. Took me a while.
That's so hard, man, like mentally. But it does make a massive difference, doesn't it? If you can keep yourself right mentally and, you know, like you could maybe come off that run and do it in sections and do one quick and you're like, oh, buzzing for the next one tomorrow. Exactly. But if you do one and then it's a bit slow or you feel tired and that, you'll be dreading the next day. It's mad how it works.
I know. It is, and it's about giving yourself, I suppose, setting yourself goals that are achievable. Don't think like this, because taking it back to football, thinking like at that age, I need to be in that first team.
Yeah,
that could be miles away. But breaking it down and then just play your game, see how you got on that game, and a bit like what that run was about breaking it down. When I started at Wembley, and you're thinking, I'm never getting back to Hampden. This is like miles away. It felt like as if it was never going to happen. But then I'm just breaking it down to every 10 miles. Seeing that motorhome was amazing. Don't know how it felt for you.
Those trainers when it came in, no.
Stinking.
Oh, disgusting.
They were bogging.
Like, you've never smelled anything like this.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, they were bad. They were bad.
They were bad.
Aye, they were.
And he's still got them, which is even scarier.
You have to keep rid of them.
Oh, you can't get rid of them. No. Can't get rid of them.
Definitely not.
But no, but the whole thing about it is about the mental side to that is definitely is a big part in achieving what obviously you're at now is getting to where you were hoping to get to all those years ago.
That's what I mean. Like, if I'd have, it's so hard when you're younger. Like, it's definitely came with just experience and maturing and stuff like that, and then maybe going through all the hard times so you know how you dealt with it last time and. It's just, it is genuinely just about growing up, isn't it? Like,
I've just seen the difference in you in 3.5, 4 years. It's like night and day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I looked at everything quite negatively.
Really? Oh, never.
I still do to this day. Like, I always think what happens if something goes wrong, but I think that was the biggest difference this last year with related to football. I just thought, I don't care if I go and give the ball away anymore. Like, I really don't. I'll still go and do it again. And then most of the time, because I was more relaxed, instead of thinking, oh, what if this goes wrong? It was just coming off because I know I can do it, but I wouldn't try it if I knew I couldn't do it. But I used to get my back up when I'd done it wrong because I'd put too much pressure on myself. And that's just like demanding high standards or like from myself. I've always done that and I still will. But I didn't really care if I gave it away and stuff like that. People moaning at you and I just shut up. I'll just do it again.
I just ignore that.
And I'll just go and
play your own game.
I'll go and do it again, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then luckily, most of it was just working last year, and I've like earned myself a move back to where it started. So I'm happy with that.
Class. It's a good story.
I know, it is. To be fair, I didn't realise until I was actually signing the day I went and done my medical and signed. I had to do an interview, and I don't really like doing anything like this, but I was speaking to the media guy, and he sort of had a chat with me before it, and you could tell like he was dead chuffed. He was like, what a story this is and that, and I didn't even click on. Like, but then when you do see like all the people from home, like commenting on all the news articles and stuff and saying that's absolutely amazing, you've went away and like proved them wrong in a way. Like I wouldn't say prove them wrong, but that is sort of what I've done. Someone told me I wasn't good enough at the time, and so I went away and then came back, and then now a top manager's made us like his first signing. So it is quite. It's just weird. It is weird. I see it as weird because it's me, but
it's really inspiring for young players.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Like look up to and not give up and see that there is. If you do, just stick in and.
I mean, I've not done anything yet. I haven't even started yet, but I'm sure. But like, I'm confident. Like I say, I'll just have the same mentality as last year, and just I'm confident I'll go in and do well. I know there'll be a transition period with us from part-time to full-time. Because I'm always in the physio room anyways, aren't I? Just little niggles. I'm never ever bad, am I? Just something's always annoying me, but no, I'm sure I'll get used to it quite quick, and I'm confident I'll go and do well. So once I'm in and I'm doing well, I'll maybe say that, but not now. I'm just gonna get my head down and hopefully go and do well.
Yeah. But I think you've got to have some level of. You're not going to say I'm going to get in, I'm going to be shit. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get in and you're going to give it everything. And going off the back of last season, there's no reason why you're not going to get in and hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean?
I think he's fed up me saying to him positive mental attitude.
Yes,
I've heard that for a few years.
She's never said that to me. She just kept moaning about my trainers. You're stinking. Are you all right, Libby? No, but do you know, like, because we've spoke about this before, about like young players getting released in that difficult period, because you give up so much as a young person, as a footballer, training 3-4 nights a week, games at the weekend. Probably your education gets impacted because you're giving up so much of your free time to concentrate in football, and then you hit that age of 16, 17 where you're going through exams or leaving to start a university or a career, and as a footballer, if you get released, then that's so difficult to manage. But the story that obviously that you've got going away for that, to work hard and come back, is amazing, because like with the academy that obviously we're working on, that's part of that is like trying to help young people realise that it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? And that story for you, and I'm not saying everybody goes away, works hard, comes back and gets a professional contract, but the thing about it is, give yourself a chance. Don't go away and just head goes down and that's the end of things. Because you've been working as well, haven't you? You've been doing like part-time work and working. I mean,
that's what I mean. Through school, everyone was like, you need a backup plan. I was just like, no, what do I need a backup plan for? I'll sort that when it happens, and then it does happen. You're like, shit.
Yep.
What do I do now? And I still had that. I was still like, right, well, I'll go on all the trials. And I had a couple of other clubs, but it was maybe sort of a different scheme, and I would have maybe had to move away. So I obviously went to Queen's, and to be fair, that was like a bit of a sacrifice because the money wasn't great. My mum and dad had to help me out a lot until I like went up with the first team and stuff. And, they helped me out, and I'm forever thankful of them. Like, they took me all around the country when I was younger and then helped me out financially as well, just to go and do what I wanted to be able to do. And obviously once I started, I did repay them, like, didn't I? Sent them on holiday, actually. I wish I never done that now. But yeah, then I went part-time. I started working and stuff. So then, you see, like, at first you start getting a bit more, you're getting 2 wages, so you're like, oh, this is decent. But then after a while it was just like, this does not interest me one little bit. Like, there's only one thing I want to be doing, and I'd rather go back on less money and play football than have money and be working on something I don't want to do. So I stuck it out, but yeah, I'm glad I don't need to be doing that now for the next 2 years at least. And hopefully I can do well, and then I don't have to do that again until I'm retired. And then if it does work out so well, then maybe I won't even need to work it. Nah, that won't happen. But No, yeah, it's hard. Like, so part-time football's hard mentally. I can understand why there's maybe a lot of people, well, even full-time, you know, like, there's a lot of struggles. People just think full-time footballers aren't normal humans and stuff, like they've got a life outside of it, and that's why I think this charity is like massive for everybody that plays football.
It definitely is, and we've spoke about this before, just about that. There's loads of different transitions in football, well, in life, but it's certainly in football. Getting released, or going from full time to part time, or coming to the end of your career, or getting injured. There's loads of different periods of time when it will be difficult, and it's the mental side of that people, I don't think, ever maybe prepare for, like being ready for that to happen. Because I don't know if people don't ever expect it to happen, but maybe just aren't prepared for it when it does. And I think that's why being so visible within the game is massive, and I think it needs to be encouraged more. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, definitely. More teams need to.
People that always say to you, though, isn't there, like, have a backup plan, but I think you're just maybe a bit naive to it at the time. You think, oh, well, I've got a year contract. I'll do. There'll be a time, because you need to back yourself. Everyone will back themselves.
Of course.
But then when it does happen, it's like, oh shit, what am I going to do?
But even just with injury, like, we're dealing with a lot of players just now with
exactly,
injury.
yeah. You can't predict that, can you? You can predict getting released at the end of the season, but you never expect, oh, I'm going to get injured.
Mm-hmm. And that can, that's sometimes your career over, and then you've not planned for anything, but you're only in your 20s or.
And that's, I mean, as I said, like, because I think what probably it is difficult, because the young boys, maybe at 17, 18, really take that on board. I'll say young boys, young men, but they take that on board, because it is difficult to get through. But I still think it's something that needs to be addressed as such, like making them aware that.
I think there's a few clubs that's put. Is it Crystal Palace that's put in something?
Yeah, Crystal Palace has done something,
which is quite good. And I'm sure a lot of clubs will follow if it works out well. Like, I don't know what it actually does, but
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they are quite
seen
proactive.
It put something in place for boys that were getting released. I don't know quite what it is, but just I thought it was a good thing when I seen it. You know, like, because, well, looking back at when I got released, even from Queens, it's like, right, you're not getting another contract. So I'll see you later, in a way. Like, not bad. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like, there's no, all right, well, can we help you? And they don't need to. It's like, if you do something wrong at your work and they sack you, they don't have a duty of care for you afterwards. But, you know, for a big club to put it in place like that, there'll be boys that have been there since they were like 7-year-old.
I know, but that's
and then
a
getting
bit
released.
different though, because if you get sacked from your job, it's because you've done something wrong.
Yeah, I know, but I was just trying to, like, they're not gonna like make out.
I know. I do think clubs up here need to do more.
Oh no, definitely clubs. That's what I'm saying. Crystal Palace have done really well there, because it's not just, like I said, there's boys, but maybe 7, 8-year-old going there till they're like 18, and then just saying they're no different. Later. Some of them might have even moved away from the families and stuff. So,
but it's also difficult for most employers to get rid of staff, whereas in football, you get contracts or especially a manager.
Aye.
Like, do you know, a manager's not getting results.
Can be in and out in 6 months, can't you?
Aye. And like, I think you're right. Like, maybe afterwards there's no real obligement on them to sort of do the aftercare sort of thing. Yeah. But morally, is it right just to, especially more so with younger boys?
Lads,
you know, just saying that, listen, you're not for us, it's not going to work out, and then just letting them go. And I think even when they're giving up so much, it's such a sacrifice to. And I get that. I get if you want to be the best at whatever you do, then you're going to have to put in a lot of time and effort to it. But also the flip side to that is if you're not getting in and out of that, then there should be some sort of support.
Yeah, like that. I mean, you need to go to college, don't you, from the 16 to the 18? But I think it's just a standard course that everyone will do. What happens if you don't want to? You want to do that, and you've got this sports degree or whatever it is that everyone gets, and you don't want to do anything like that. If there is something that did interest you, and then they're going to release you at 18 anyways, they can maybe help, especially the big clubs. You know, they've got money. They can definitely put something on where they can provide them to go and learn something or put them in the right step, instead of just saying, right, we don't want you. Good luck, all the best. There definitely needs to be more of it.
Yeah. I think there's definitely sort of an onus in clubs to do more, but at the moment there's not a lot being done.
Yeah.
And not everybody's got that mentality you had to go away and work hard and come back. But even just having that sort of talk with players, saying, listen, this isn't it. And I don't know if every club does that, but I think it's just about raising awareness around it, especially younger boys.
Especially if there's somebody who's maybe been through it and they can speak to somebody about it both ways. Mm-hmm. It maybe never worked out, and then some of them it did work out. Like, you can get both sides to it, and then it's up to the kids then if they want to take the advice on board or not. Like, I know when people used to try and tell me, you need a backup, I was like, no, I don't. Like, I was quite strong, and I should have maybe had a look at a backup, but there was nothing I wanted to do. I did have a thing, but it's just like, you just want to do one thing, and I've went away and I've worked hard for it, and then now I'm back doing it at 24. So it didn't happen straight away. It's been 5 years since I was playing full time, and then that's all I wanted to do ever since. I came out of that, and then I've now eventually back. That's why I'm just buzzing to start on Wednesday. Like, it's just getting that. There's no better job in the world. There's no better job in the world. Your lifestyle. It's hard work, but it's all worth it. Like, and just being able to play football every week, which you've loved your whole life, with obviously your mates, technically just mates, like teammates, just having a laugh every day and doing what you love, you can't think of anything better than that. Well,
it's most kids, certainly boys, dream in it, to become a footballer. You ask, I don't know how many kids at school, what do you want to do when you grow up? Be a footballer. So you're technically living the dream.
The kids now saying they want to be like Owen Moxon.
And there you go, and Carlisle.
Not me. Wait till they see me play on a Saturday though, and then.
You were backing yourself 20
Oh,
minutes ago.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm coming to do another cartwheel at the front gate.
Aye. Do it on the pitch.
Can you imagine?
I know, empty at Carlisle that day must have been looking out, or the cameras giving it, what are this bunch doing?
See, literally 5 minutes before it, I was getting cramp and I couldn't move.
I know.
And then I tried to do a cartwheel. I don't know how I managed it.
I was in Benidorm at the time, wasn't I?
Right, yeah.
Yes, that's
in
right.
Benidorm with the boys from Annan, and I was like, what's this video here? And then it was just you doing cartwheels around Carlisle car park.
That was the night that I got a massage off the physio, funnily enough,
right.
because I was in bits. I was absolutely in bits. But no, it's as I said, like, going right back. What a cracking story it is, and it'd be good for young folk to hear that, young players in particular.
And he's now an ambassador.
Oh, aye, we haven't even touched on that yet. So, an ambassador for Back On Side. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
We've not given him his list of jobs yet.
Well,
I was just thinking, like,
when you asked me, I was like, do you want me to be an ambassador for it? What am I going to do? Like, and you still haven't told us what I need to do, but it's a bit of an honour, like, you've obviously helped me a lot, and you're a very good friend of mine as well, so, and the work that you do is, there's no words for it. Like, I know people that have came to me and said that you've helped them, that I would have never knew was struggling and stuff, so it's amazing what the charity does for people, and the change you can see in people just mentally and physically as well. Like, it's brilliant.
I think the friendship that we've got has obviously helped so many people and approach me, because they obviously trust Owen. So it's like, well, if like Owen's had support or whatever, they'll come to me. So it's a much more open club from when I first.
Yeah, definitely. There's like some of the young lads that have came in, and they've came and, like, obviously I'll say no names, but came to me and said, I knew you were so close with Libby, and like, how come you're so close? And I'll just say, like, she helped me a lot through like a tough time. Like, And they were like, what did she do? I was like, well,
Just listen.
just be a friend, and probably got me talking about stuff. Well, you maybe just talk shite for a bit, and then I can talk shite, and then next thing you know, I've told everything, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I was thinking that myself. It just sort of came out, and then they were like, oh, right, and they came back a couple of weeks later and just said they spoke to you, and they're so glad they did, because they just feel better, like a weight's lifted off the shoulders.
Yeah. No, it's really nice to see how all the boys are at the club and stuff, and hopefully that continues. Like next or this season coming, with new people coming in and stuff, and obviously Owen not been there.
I'm sure it will.
I did hear a couple of them arguing the other night saying, I'm going to be Libby's boy. I'm going to. It's all about, because we sponsor the man of the match.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to think I pick it, but I don't, and I'm not allowed to pick it because I think the first time I picked it, I did pick you, but generally on his performance. So I don't pick it, but obviously he's been getting man of the match just about every game. So it's like a kind of standing joke.
I don't even want to go and get it anymore, because there's no point in me walking in with the thing, because they're like, oh, here we go again. Libby's picture. I said, oh, I
was
wish
away for a few weeks, obviously, and then I came back, and the first game I was back, he got man of the match, and I didn't, I had nothing to do with it. And they're all.
No, we had two away games or something, and then it was like, felt like I hadn't been at home in ages. But I was just, because it was the commentators that used to pick it.
Or a guest. Or
like a guest commentator. And I was like, just go and watch the game. It's not Libby. You stand in the corner as well. I used to get raging with it. I used to proper bite. I was like, and then I stopped biting. I was like, you need to just be better.
Aye. Are you technically saying that I didn't play well?
Aye, that's what I was like. Oh, so I've done it.
What's funny, because I've played a couple of charity games for back on side for the team, and Willie Henderson's normally there, and he keeps picking David Cox, so I thought that was maybe his dad, but apparently it's not.
It's a rumour start, Jason.
That's what hey, Coxie started it. He was actually saying, have you seen my dad? But no, joking aside.
If you were to get man of the match, our charity games was a serious issue.
I think
you lasted 2 minutes the last time you were on.
I'm slightly hungover, I had a sore leg, I was in prep for a big run, Libby. I think I managed 2 sprints and then my hamstring nearly.
Yeah, that was it.
Not a sprinter, just 400 miles.
Nah.
400 miles easy, no 2 sprints.
They say it's a marathon, not a sprint. Life's about getting through it. It's not about getting there the quickest.
Aye.
God, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, aye. So ambassador, right? So I think, and I've had this wee idea, right? So shoot me, and I know I've always got wee ideas, Libby. But
I know
was
nothing
thinking
about this, so I don't know what it's going to say.
This is going to put me on the spot here.
No. No. I know every new ambassador sings a song for it.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm only joking. No, but genuinely what I was thinking is we should do like an ambassador charity wheel. We should come up with a charity wheel, challenge wheel. That's what I was thinking. Okay. So that a wheel of challenges, right? And we should spin it. And we should get each ambassador to do a different challenge for charity, obviously, to raise funds.
Have you got an idea of what these challenges are?
Absolutely not. I've no idea. I've just thought about this like literally 2 minutes ago.
Maybe.
I mean, your last.
But I thought if it, like because Owen's like,
I'm not doing I'm not doing Wembley to Hampden.
No.
There's no way.
No. But we could come up with something.
Owen's good at doing he did the challenge. Remember the football during COVID? Where it was you had to kick the ball.
Oh, and do the press up.
Yeah, so it was Owen that came up with that.
Press up.
And not many folk.
You didn't give me much choice, like, did you?
But you're the only one that could actually do it. There's not many folk who were able to do it.
I think I had about 500 goals. I had nothing else to do in lockdown, so no.
That went quite well, actually. We had a lot of people took part in that. You would be useless at that, Jason.
No, I've done it.
Have you?
Yes.
We've not seen the video evidence for this.
Oh. Yes, there is.
I think there is.
Is there?
Yes, there is. First attempt at the Orium.
Oh, that's right.
On video. Yes, I did.
First attempt on video.
First attempt, which was caught in video. I remember my third, but it was the first one on video. Yes,
I think it does ring a bell. I think I've seen you do it. Aye,
I did.
Easy.
Thank you. I was actually thinking of a different running challenge. Actually, I was thinking about the highest peak in every shire in Scotland.
You won't be able to do
You
much.
could take a ball with you. You could dribble. I'm only joking. But no, I think
that'd
an
be a good-
ambassador challenge.
It'd
I
be a
think,
good idea, that.
I think that's a goer.
A TikTok challenge.
No.
How to
Like-
get him bullied before he even gets there.
Oh no, we can't pretend that. But this is an idea. I think we should come up with something. I'll go away and think about it.
Aye.
The next time I get running, normally I don't listen to music, so I just think about stuff. That's where I've always got mad ideas. I run and I just think.
You have to think what you can put on the wheel.
Aye. I think I'll have something by the end of the week. In and out of bounds.
Mountains.
How is that mountain out of bounds?
Casey goes over his ankle or something.
Well, just you just think of them, and then
Right,
if,
I'll
I'll
come
just
up
see
with
if
something,
at the time
Right,
I
okay.
can do it.
Okay.
I'll have to ask the gaffer's permission. I've been chaffing on his.
Well,
dog
do you
before,
know?
I
Do
asked
you know?
him,
My,
just saying
do you know? I've got a saying that's seek forgiveness rather than permission. Do you know what I mean? I always seek forgiveness. I don't ask for permission. If I do something wrong, then we just say sorry later.
no. Aye. I suppose it's not a bad way to look at it, is it?
Aye. My life's motto, actually, isn't it, Livy?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. I live by that. But anyway, we've kind of digressed a wee bit, but I think in terms of this season, what's your main goal for this season?
I just want to play as many games as possible, and just go, like I was saying before, just go and enjoy my football. Just not put too much pressure on myself. Obviously it's my hometown team as well, so I know majority of people that are going to be there. I know of them. I just want to go and play as many games as I can, and just do well for myself. I want to get a few goals and that, like scoring at Brunton Park, and then being able to celebrate with the boys, the team, and then there's my mates in the crowd who are actual Carlisle fans. Like, it's different. They were coming to watch me because I was at Annan, but they weren't an Annan fan. Mm-hmm. It means a lot, and I don't know if you've seen it in interviews. One of my best mates died this year.
Oh, really?
And he was a massive Carlisle fan. So like, that's an extra bit for me to kick on and do well. A bit of pride in it. Like, it means more than just me going back to Carlisle and me doing well for myself. Being able to sign there this year, the year he passed away, that's why it felt so right as well. It's just crazy how that opportunity came. With him being such a big Carlisle fan. So I want to go and do him proud as well. So I just want an all round good season for the team to do well.
Good. I know that actually, but
Liam Gallagher dedicated his song to him. Yeah.
who was that? Sorry.
Liam Gallagher. So his sister Katie, she was tweeting. He had a ticket for the Liam Gallagher concert. He was a big Oasis fan as well, and she used his ticket to go. And she asked on Twitter if he could dedicate a song, so everyone was sharing it. All my mates, everybody in Carlisle was sharing stuff, and he never responded to any tweets. Never liked nothing. And I said, like, he just seems like this type of guy that will not bat an eyelid, but then he'll just do it. Because a few mates were like, he's not going to do it, is he? He probably won't have seen it. He probably doesn't have his own social media. He doesn't manage it, maybe. And I just had this feeling he was going to do it, and then he did. He did it. I think it was his last song.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant as well.
Do you think is it a flag or something? Didn't they? They made a big flag. As well.
There's a few flags. Obviously, it's like the England flag with Carlisle badge and Grant Taylor on it. And obviously we all have the Carlisle tops with GT22 on the back. So there's loads of stuff, and just to be able to go. I spoke to his family and stuff like they were very proud and that, and be able to go and play for Carlisle. He would be very proud of us and buzzing with it. So that's like an extra incentive to go and do well. So looking forward to it.
Amazing. I'll maybe accompany Libby to a game.
We'll get you so down. I'll get you tickets.
Aye. Just tell them if they need half-time entertainment, I can do cartwheels from one end to the other. All right.
Or in the car park again?
Yes.
Aye.
Maybe manage 3 and then I'll put my hamstring again. But no, amazing. And obviously been part of the back on side team. It's amazing.
I know.
So special. It's going to be. We'll need to have some sort of team get together. I think. Maybe.
Yeah, we need to do that again.
We need to get that sorted.
Year,
Yep. But it's been brilliant talking to you, and obviously best wishes for the season.
Thank you.
It's something special. I think it's an amazing story, as I've said, and just been part of the team here at Back On Side is something that I know how proud Libby will be you being here.
My second mum.
Libby. Well, I know this. She kept telling me this when we were away. It's hard to believe actually we spent 10 days in a motorhome and never even really felt it, did we?
Once. I wouldn't say it was a fallout. You were just grumpy.
What was that because of?
Because you were wet and I was on the phone.
Oh, aye, forgive me. Forgive me for being soaking wet, having run 40 miles and been a wee bit tired. My bad. I'm only joking. No, it's been amazing, Owen. And as I said, all the best for this season.
You've not asked the 2 questions that you always ask at
the
end.
What are they again? I forgot my questions. Tell me about that. Oh, one is the best bit of advice you've ever been given.
I've given you a lot of advice here, I think. I've
been given a lot of advice. In terms of
Still my quote for 5 minutes ago. Seek forgiveness rather than permission. I'm only joking. No. The best bit of advice somebody's ever given you. What would it be? No, anything. Just
could be anything.
Just anything.
Probably. I can't even remember that positive mental attitude that you always say. Like it genuinely, especially this last 7 months. You know, like just. It's if you think positively about things, like things have happened in this last 7 months that I've wanted to happen for 5 years, and then I maybe changed my mindset on things, and then I've got what I've wanted. You know, that maybe it's just from being a bit more positive, and if I believe it's going to happen and I want it to happen, I can make it happen. And that's what you've always said to us, isn't it? Probably that.
If you believe it, you can achieve it.
Yeah, like there's nothing stopping you. Is there, if you just change your mindset to it instead of, oh, but it might not. You know, just
and also you
until it doesn't happen, just keep thinking it's going to happen, and then what was it? PMA. I'll go with Libby's. I have to choose one of hers, won't I?
Chris Akabusi. Was it Chris Akabusi that used to do that advert?
Was it?
PMA.
It took him about 4 months to actually say to me, what does PMA stand for? Because he would all be like, yeah.
But no, definitely used it in this last 7 months.
Yeah, you have.
And it's, turned out all right now. So just keep being like that.
And also, what or who has been the biggest influence in your life? So it could be something that's happened.
Nana, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
No messing there.
Nah, she was obviously before I was saying she passed away. Maybe coming out of full time and going to work and stuff like that. She was the one I would always speak. She was like my best mate. I just made us feel better about everything, and she always gave us the right advice. It seemed. Maybe it wasn't, but I just listened to her, so to me it was. That's why it was probably so hard when she wasn't here. So I just wanted to make her proud all the time, and still do. So yeah, she definitely was.
Good. And she'll be super proud of you this season.
Yeah.
I think that's us then. We'll wrap it up at that.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Been a pleasure.
Cheers.